Welcome back. In this video, we are going to locate the U.S. Census website in the American Fact Finder resource. We will construct searches in census resources to find current population demographics for this local county, Elkhart County, as well as the U.S. We will classify U.S. Census data to appropriate parameters in the demographic assessment grid. That was on the first video, and I walked through that. And we are going to also create proper citations of U.S. Census data. So let's begin. We are at the Getting Started page of the Nursing 604 course guide. On this page here, you will see that we have organized right off the bat this major organizations of areas to start your research. I'd recommend at this point, if you haven't already, to print off the community assessment worksheet, demographic worksheet, or pull it up on another page on your computer, or have you have that set up. We are also going to, so these major organizations, I have this start at these two resources and then a follow up with some additional resources. I want us to begin at this census.gov American Fact Finder. This is a little different than simply census.gov, which searches all of the census data. I recommend starting at American Fact Finder just because the search is a little bit more direct and focuses on the information you want. There's a lot of resources at census.gov, and it doesn't search the best. You'll find that with government resources, they don't always have the best search capacity. So I recommend just starting here at the American Fact Finder. We'll open this page, and it's going to start up and open in a new tab. The search box for American Fact Finder is right here on the left-hand side. And you can enter a state, county, city, town, or zip code. You can also just simply type in United States and look at the data for the United States. We'll do that piece last. I want us to begin by looking at Elkhart County. When you do a search, you'll see that it will drop down the state, county, cities, towns of that name. So in this case, for Elkhart, there's Elkhart County. There's the Elkhart City in our county. There's also a city named Elkhart in Iowa as well. So it's always good to make sure to get the right one. So we want Elkhart County, Indiana. And let's click go. So you'll see on this website, it has on the left-hand side a set of different variables: population, age, business and industry, etc. And then in the larger right-hand side box is going to be the data information. Usually a key point is listed here in the middle. So for this case, for population, what else than the overall population? And then below it is going to be more in-depth information. They call it popular tables. It's really important here to look at what the source is. So for here, it's this big number here is from the 2010 demographic profile for two reasons. One, you'll either pull from the 2010 census or you will pull from other work the Census Bureau has done. So you'll see here there's the American County Community Survey and the Population Estimates Program. And then there's earlier census information. You want to have the latest census information, and if possible, the community surveys and estimate programs, those are all various estimates. If you want the most accurate number, you'll want to go to the census number. Although later on in the decade, since we're toward the end of the decade, you can see 2010 is not super up to date, but it is the most accurate, latest information we have. So for citing a source or putting it into your assessment worksheet, you'll want to click right on the source itself. You can do that on this for the main number or below and some of the table information. When you do that, it's going to provide a breakdown of the information. So you can see the total population numbers listed, as well as breakdowns of age groups. It also separates it by male and female. Go down a little further, it's going to break it down by race. You can see the breakdowns for race. And something you may or may not know, the way Hispanic and Latino is categorized as a separate category from race. And that information is here below as well. So there's Hispanic or Latino, and then there's Hispanic or Latino and race looked at together. So those two pieces. You'll see in each of these tables there's also additional information to go down, plus all the information, footnotes, etc. So you will see that those are pieces that you'll how the tables are set up. And this would be what you would cite for your paper. You would cite profile of general population and housing characteristics 2010. That's the actual source you're looking at for that number. Other places you can look here. So that's population. And you can see there's some overlap here, even though we looked at age breakdown already, and we looked at race and Hispanic origin breakdown already. That's in that general population tab. That's going to be in the main, kind of the catch-all. But if you want to, so those are just to be aware of other pieces there. Another piece I wanted to look at, let's go ahead and look at housing, just to look at a different set of data here. So for this, total housing units is the summary number they list. They list a source here. Now this source, look at this, is from the 2012-2016 American Community Survey 5-year estimates. So this isn't a precise number, but it's probably the closest number available. You can see information from the 2016 American Community Survey, again, 2010 census and 2000 census. So if we look on general housing characteristics for 2010 census, you will see the information listed here. Total housing units, occupied and vacant. And as you scroll down, break down by whether they're occupied or vacant, and then information on, in this case, tenure by Hispanic or Latino origin or race, by race. So each table is going to have the information organized a little differently. Another piece I want to point out that is on the worksheet here is going to be the income and poverty tab. So if you look for income, same thing. You have that large number. You have a source, which this one is American Community Survey 5-year estimates. And you have the 26th American Community Survey, and you have the Census 2000 information. So again, to 2000 is going to be the most accurate, but it's also close to 20 years old. Just to consider those. And the poverty tab, you'll see the overall number they list is individuals below poverty level on the American Community Survey 5-year estimates. Again, there's nothing for the 2010 census, but you could see here selected economic characteristics, and you will see a wide range of information. Those employment status, how they commute to work, household income. So that breaks down a little better with poverty status to see household income and other information as well, poverty status at the bottom. If you ever want to change your search, you can. There's a box right at the top. So I want to, for example, to show the United States. We are now back at the course guide for this page. That was American Fact Finder, the resources we found there, both for the county and for the country. The other piece I want to point out in this area is the citation information. So to cite U.S. Census data using APA, you'll want to do that what's called government documents. And there's guidelines both on Purdue OWL and elsewhere how to do that. I've included the basic format below. We always say U.S. Census Bureau as the author, the year the data was published, the name or of data or report. So for example, selected economic characteristics, employment, commute, occupation, income, poverty. You'd have that name of that report, and then you'd say retrieved from, and then copy and paste that URL of the page and put it there. And there's a link below that gives some additional examples for that. So that's an introduction to using American Fact Finder in this Getting Started page. The other sources are going to work similar. It's going to provide demographic data.